bring it back. Mike Vanderjack to pick it off for the Cowboys. And off we go from Texas Stadium. Morton from the 6. That brought down the 25-yard line by Kevin Burnett of the Cowboys. So here comes Eli Manning, who really, when you look at his career, has now getting toward the end of 2 full seasons as a starter. Took over for Kurt Warner in his rookie season. You see the numbers from last year. This year, distinct improvement in the completion percentage, yards per game, and the passer rating that really is the snapshot of all the key stats of quarterbacks. He's worked hard at it in the offseason, has a great group of skill players to get it to, and he's performing much better. Drive from the 26 is a Manning throw. Underneath, Tiki Barber holds on. Gain of 5, brought down at the 31. And here's Barber to introduce. That guy may have a future in broadcasting. He's so smooth. 2nd and 5. Jim Finn went in motion. Barber's first carry is a gain of about a yard as DeMarcus Ware came from the linebacker spot to make the tackle.
I feel it smooth that he got it. I thought that was good.
It's important to have the quarterback's backside protected. I would have liked that a lot more when I played.
Barber comes in needing 58 yards to end the week the way it started as the leading rusher in the National Football League. 3rd and 4. And Manning with time throws to Amani Toomer for the first down. At the 39-yard line, Anthony Henry made the stop. The gain was 7. Tom Coughlin, the 60-year-old head coach of the Giants, took them to the division title last year. Barber with Tim Finn to block for him. Cuts it back nicely and stays on his feet right at first down yardage near midfield. What a good read of the opening by Barber against the Dallas defense. Introduced us in the lineups. James, quote, the heart of the defense. Barber picked up a first down. Manning flushed, but launching the deep ball for Plaxico Burress. Who goes up and brings it in? Touchdown Giants.
Boy, is Roy Williams upset. The official actually took Roy Williams out of the play as he tried to go up and make a play for the ball. This is just Eli Manning saying, I like my odds with my guy against you. He throws it up, and you see what happens to Roy Williams.
The back judge, Don Gordkowski.
It's not supposed to happen in the first quarter. Everybody's attuned to waiting for Eli Manning to do this in the 4th quarter. He does it on, what, the 6th play of the first quarter?
And I think it's important that you get Plaxico Burress involved early, and that's exactly what Eli Manning did. Threw it up and lets a big guy go make a play.
Which he did.
A 50-yard touchdown, Jay Filion to add the extra point. Patrick Watkins, the safety, who was burned in the Philadelphia game 3 times in coverage. Williams frustrated, and Manning and the Giants on the board.
This is just real simple. You want to get one of your big play guys on the safety. Plaxico Burress split out to the left. Pat Watkins is the safety. Get by the corner. It's a simple cover 2. Corners up, safety's back. Now he's one-on-one. Eli buys some time and just launches a ball and says, go get it. To the right part of your screen, you saw Roy Williams. Took to the right part of your screen. You see what happens is he goes out and absolutely runs over the back judge. And maybe or maybe not, he would have had a play on the ball, but he would have liked the opportunity. Last year against these guys are having similar problems tonight.
Jeff Fiegels, who has punted more than anyone else in NFL history, kicks the 1,457th time. Patrick Creighton back to receive. He lets this one go, and the Giants are going to have a chance to down it at, oh, be careful, guys, at the 1-inch line. David Tyree, twice a Pro Bowl special teamer. Oh, took it down to the very edge. Cowboys have every inch of real estate to cover. Rayfield Wright, the new Hall of Famer, as well, coming up later on in the game. Bledsoe from his own end zone throws it and just gets rid of it. That pass is incomplete. O.C. Umenyiora put the pressure on at the back of the end zone.
Guy as immobile as the actual Statue of Liberty. to send him back there and give him a few seconds.
I think it's the best way to do it because the defense has so much of the field to cover.
So the Giants, who said we're going to bring pressure all night, do just that, and LeVar Arrington comes in to make it 9-0 Giants.
Hello, Drew, right?
Hello, Drew.
On LeVar. People say I need a haircut. Hello, Drew. That's 2 points.
LeVar Arrington, number 55, comes right through the middle, fires, and gets him. I talked to LeVar Arrington a couple days ago. He said, on this football team, there are so many playmakers, and when I was in Washington, I was expected to make a play. And now all of a sudden, I'm a part of a bunch of guys. I'm waiting for my opportunity to have an impact. That's why Tom Coughlin brought LeVar Arrington to New York, to be an impact player.
The sack is his first since the opener of the 2004 season when he was in Washington, the first safety of LeVar's career. It's 9-0 Giants, and you saw the sign, "We want Romo." Immediately, the immobility of Bledsoe and the pressure of the Giants manifests itself there on back-to-back plays.
So let the
Colombo blocks down. Nobody blocks Michael Strahan. Drew Bledsoe is a sitting duck. Same situation with LeVar Arrington coming from the left side. Tackle blocks out, guard blocks down. Arrington's on Bledsoe before he has a chance to blink an eye.
1,000 carries. That's in his career. So historically, let's look. Minimum 2,000 attempts, yards per carry. All-time great Jim Brown at 5.2 yards per carry right at the top. Barry Sanders, 4.99 yards. Then Tiki Barber at 4.68 last week, hopping ahead of O.J. Simpson on that list. So Barber hitting that 2,000-yard mark in record shape. Williams with the pressure, caught by Forrest, downfield, out of bounds at the 27, and he does it on Terrence Newman.
What a throw by Eli Manning. When the defender has the inside position, you have to throw the ball over the right side of the wide receiver. Watch where the ball comes down. Newman doesn't have a chance to make a play on the ball. Here comes the blitz. Look at where the ball lands. Terrific adjustment by Plaxico Burress, but perfect positioning for Eli Manning.
Newman never saw the ball. He had no idea where it was.
And Plax knew exactly where it was going to land.
50 on the touchdown for Burress, 44 on that one. Carried 2001 in the Barber career. Takes a pounding from Aiken Adele at the 25-yard line. So one thing Eli Manning has done is completing more passes, especially, Joe, that column on the right pops out, but the downfield ball traveling in the air. Not catch and run, traveling in the air, 21 yards plus. Look, that's a huge jump on deep balls.
He attributed it to the fact that the receivers and he spent a lot of time together, but also the guys are getting better separation and giving him a clearer picture as where he needs to throw the ball.
Those numbers really, instead of throwing the ball from the line of scrimmage, 20+, not those catch and run cosmetic numbers. Manning has it deflected as he was intending it for Amani Schumer. Greg Ellis knocks it down. Matt Weiner has a Sports Center 30 at 30 update. Matt. Thank you, Matt. Important play for the Dallas defense here on 3rd and 7. And Manning adjusts it. And the Cowboys respond defensively. Manning protected, gets it to Barber, who has a blocker in Jim Finn, bounces, keeps going, and gets the first down at the 13-yard line.
I don't know who was more confused on that play, the Giant offense or the Cowboy defense. You certainly saw the Cowboy defense change and audibilize, and Eli just stepping around, knowing where everyone is. Finn is out right in front of Tiki, delivers the block at the first down marker, and allows him to pick up the first down.
You know that Eli said the other day of the news that Tiki was going to retire. Good, now we don't have to save him for next year. We can overwork him right now, and they're doing it tonight.
Michael Jennings is in the game. He took a reverse last week. Here they bring him around for that action, and Barber runs it into the line, and Chris Canty pulls him down with that short game. You know, the one thing about Tiki Barber, we saw it on that screen, that little check down that he caught. He runs with such power. You talk about the fumbling, but he has become a stronger physical runner for a guy who was considered a third down back return guy when he came in.
And it all had to do with changing the position of how he carries the ball. He carries it much higher on his body, and he carries it much tighter to his body.
And that's been the result. That's been the result right there. The to the corner for Burris, who goes for the jump ball and can't pull it down with Anthony Henry covering at the corner. Well, 3rd and 10.
Back to the fumbles for a second. He fumbled so much. Everybody thought Tiki Barber, all he does is fumble. Now he's fumbled twice in 2 years, and if it's as simple a thing as holding the ball higher up on your shoulder, why did nobody point this out to him before Tom Coughlin did?
Probably no one had the knowledge that Tom Coughlin did to make the adjustment, and Tiki worked very hard.
Then I'd hire him as a fumble coach immediately. If he's ever out of work, he can be my fumble coach.
3rd and 10. Shockey was good down here last week against the Falcons. Shockey, incomplete. Roy Wilkes, the bowler, covering. Field goal attempt coming up.
They ran a similar
this year. And from 31, the former Michigan Wolverine just sneaks it in the upright. It was leaked right. Touchdown, safety, field goal. Equals 12. 12 plays 38 yards. They only have 3 yards on the ground here tonight. Strahan with that jump shot celebration ties Lawrence Taylor for the most sacks in a Giant career. And again, the big asterisk, the sack wasn't an official stat in LT's rookie season, but still Strahan ties the number.
Yeah, well, LT had a lot of sacks on me in his rookie season, so I'm glad it didn't count. Now that one's on Bledsoe, Tony. You're talking about...
Yeah, he held it.
He held it way too long. Yeah. He has to get the ball out of his hands, and the receivers have to work to get open.
Just adds fuel to these fans who want the other guy.
Who are chanting for Romo.
Strahan told me LT's mark is huge for the simple fact he never thought he'd be this close to matching it. And now that he's here, he said it's the most amazing thing. Strahan said he was my idol, the #1 guy I thought about when I thought about football. He preceded a lot of great players. They changed the game for him. We played 1 year together. He said, this is just amazing.
Yeah, besides 3rd and 16, Cowboys forget neutral. They're going backwards now. Not another sack. Osi Umenyiora had him in the grass. He's going to be called that he was grassed back there at the 5-yard line. This will be a Umenyiora sack.
The reason why they'll give them the sack is to protect the quarterback. They know that Drew Bledsoe is not a very mobile individual. On certain players, they would not call this, but on Drew, they will. Now, he gets the ball away. I mean, it's a decision by the official that he has to make a judgment call.
It seemed like a legitimate pass.
I think so.
He was not going down. He released it. They gained about 20 yards on it. Now they've lost all of it.
But that's
Barber a hair shy of the first down. It's 3rd and less than a yard. And they'll throw for it on 3rd and less than a yard. Manning for Burris in the big ball, and it's going to be intercepted. A flag comes down. That could very well be offensive interference.
It should be offensive pass interference.
The pick coming from Terrence Newman. Let's check the flag first.
Well, you can shake Plax's hand all you want, but it's going against Plaxico Burris. This was way too obvious.
Number 17 in the offense. 17 for 5. Result in the play is a touchdown.
Burris' clapping stops immediately on the INT by Terrence Newman.
This is a good decision by Eli. He gets the blitz, but you just can't throw people out of the way. What I'm surprised about is that Plex didn't have a chance to make a play on this ball. He had to lose it a little bit because certainly Newman knew exactly where it was. Eli's saying, hey, look, if you get one-on-one and I'm going to throw it to you, you've got to protect me.
Curious call there. Bledsoe out of the pocket to T.O. Owens turns it upfield, went out of bounds at the 8-yard line. 1st and goal, Dallas. He was out of bounds already and being marked when Brandon Short laid him out.
They kept on running. If you don't think you're out of bounds and you keep on running, you're live game. Drew Bledsoe showing his mobility. Terrell Owens gets out front. We know how physical he is. He steps out, and then Brandon Short just tries to make him a permanent fixture in the turf here at Texas Stadium.
And he pops right up because he's big and strong.
Oh, he's tough.
Yeah.
Telling you guys, that 3rd and 1 back there could be a big momentum change. The Cowboys have life. Here is Jones, just shy of the 5-yard line.
Webster, just in his 2nd year. I don't think they'll leave him alone.
Bledsoe, T.O., incomplete flag. Pass interference, 1st and goal, Dallas. Joe Mental Jason Webster, the second-year man out of LSU, in coverage.
Pass interference, number 23, defense. Foul happened in the end zone. Ball was placed in the ring line. Automatic first down.
He's virtually going to wind up with this opportunity every time because of his physical size. If you get in a pushing contest with him, you're going to lose it because the officials will call the penalty on the defensive back.
It's what he wants on everything.
Theo's learning to share.
Play action. Bledsoe runs. Touchdown. The ball comes very close at the plane to breaking it. Let's take a peek at this one here. Wow. Remember, Coughlin's already used the challenge.
The other part of it has to be irrefutable evidence. Now, did the nose of the ball get to it, or did Drew Bledsoe's body stop us from really being able to tell where the ball was? This would be a tough one for Tom to challenge.
Bledsoe on the touchdown run. Vander Jack adds the extra point. Dallas back in it. Go back to that third and very short. Giants choose to throw to the end zone, throw the pick. Bledsoe and the Cowboys take it 80 yards. Drew just breaks the play. 12-7 Giants.
The talent on the football field and can make plays when you hit the ball to him.
Right drive, starting from the 9. Barber lost the football. Dallas had the first chance at it. Tiki take it up on the play. Cowboy recovery. And Barber is hurt. Recovery by Brady James.
DeMarcus Ware comes in and just tomahawks the ball out of Tiki's arm, and then he lands very hard on the turf. There's the tomahawk. The ball comes free. Tiki goes down. And the Cowboys wind up with it.
Couldn't tell on that. It looked like he got hit in the head as he was coming through there as well. So Barber, as we showed you, from the good fundamentals of carrying the ball, has been terrific about protecting it and holding it. And Tiki now, who, as we told you earlier this week, word came out that he was going to retire at the end of this season, talking about the physical pounding that comes with the game. Here, injured after the rare fumble, and A may have caused B. Barber very clear about this is it. He's walking away, hoping for a great game, a great season, but there the fumble on the big hit, allowing Dallas the chance to take the lead. Julius Jones gets it to the 8-yard line.
The touchdown attempted pass to Terrell Owens on the last drive has created the situation for the Giants where they will not allow one corner to cover T.O. They put a safety to back them up. If you move the safety out of it, you lose the run support. So I would expect the Cowboys to continue to spread the formation and then run the football. If you start bringing them in like they have, you get more and more people around it, and it makes it harder to run it.
One less in the box. Jones hits it hard and gets to the 5-yard line. And Cowboy fans, you may see 46 as the fullback and say, I haven't seen that guy all year. That's Oliver Hoyt, who was a linebacker for this Dallas team. Lusaka Polite was their fullback, but Polite was cut this week, and Hoyt, who was in camp as a linebacker at North Carolina State, comes in and is leading the way.
I want to go back to the Barber thing just before. When you see him go down like that and they motion for the doctor, that is the perspective of, oh, maybe that's the right decision to get out now. You don't want to see a guy get hurt. He talked about that.
3rd and 1 for the first down. Marion Barber tries to get the hard yards, and it looks like he is the first down as we arrive at the 2-minute warning. Check the spot first. Let's see if it's 4th and inches or the first down. Did confirm a first down, so it's 1st and goal. The Cowboys a chance to take the lead. Marion Barber just gets past the original line of scrimmage. Osi Umenyiora leading the blue charge.
I like the fact, Michael, that the Cowboys are running the football. You're doing a couple things. You're down there in a position to give yourself at least a shot at 3 for sure. But you're also
shaking up, Joe. I'm sorry.
You're also taking some time off the clock. So the Giants don't want. Gets to look one. They're spreading it out now. Opportunity presents itself.
Here comes Owens in motion. And those are the plays alluded to down here earlier. The huge mistakes that Bledsoe often makes.
This is how you lose your job, not through sacks. You make those kind of decisions at the end of the half. Opportunity, Terry Glenn, Sam Madison, he made his living in Miami on press coverage down around the goal line. If you're going to throw this, you don't throw it against Sam Madison. Wonderful play by Sam, just absolutely mirroring Terry Glenn.
See Parcells as Bledsoe walked by, the total look of disgust at what happened as the Cowboys were to take the lead on Giants' mistakes.
Now you give them a minute and 33 with one timeout. What do they want to do?
Yes.
26 years old, 4th year out of Eastern Illinois, Division I AA school, where he won the Walter Payton Award as the top player at that level of collegiate football. Play action, little mobility, deflected in the air, and intercepted on the Pierce pickup. Antonio Pierce comes up with the interception. A Giant is shaken up for the moment. It goes to Umanura again. He gets back up, but right out of the gate, we have a penalty marker down as well. There's a negotiation that it was deflected, perhaps negating a flag.
Foul on the play since the pass was tipped.
It is an interception, and Antonio Pierce has it for the Giants.
Tony Romo, Bill Parcells said they're going to use, like he told Michelle, we're going to use his mobility. He comes back, tries to make a throw. I'm not sure he was going to get that thing to anybody anyway, because it looked like a lot of Giants in the way.
Another Michael Strahan play, Joey.
Michael Strahan's all over the play. I mean, you mentioned it before, Mike. He's had an all-pro half, and he started this one. And now Antonio Pierce comes up with the ball.
Sure hope that Tony Romo remembered the sounds of those cheers, because they may be the last ones that he gets after immediately throwing an interception.
So the Giants get the sudden change situation. They have the ball in the red zone, and Barber stumbles now his touchdown after a gain of less than a yard.
That ball was coming out awful wobbly as well, too. Drew Bledsoe thinks to himself, all right, I got sacked a few times. I had things happen to me. Michael Strahan comes completely unblocked, a sack. LeVar Arrington completely unblocked, a sack. You can't blame Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe not having an opportunity to throw the football.
Had one there.
That was the bad one.
Had an opportunity right there.
That was the straw that put him out of the ballgame.
You see it first half high on those 4 sacks. It's the first time that he was tackled for safety. Manning on second down is pressured for Shockey, who has not caught one tonight. Incomplete. Anthony Henry of the coverage.
Absolutely. But I think Parcells has played his hand right now, and he has to live with it.
Down at the half dozen DBs. Manning to the end zone for Shockey. Touchdown, Giants.
That was the play they tried to run in the first half when he threw it high over Shockey's head. Good protection by the offensive line. You give any quarterback that much time, receivers are going to get open.
This is how the first half started. First quarter started, right? Yep. The first big play from Manning, burst, touchdown. Here the Giants get another touchdown right here.
Sweet move by Jeremy Shockey. He just froze Roy Williams. Roy Williams told us yesterday, I'm going to wind up in one-on-one coverage on Jeremy Shockey. That time Shockey beat him.
Sweet move on a stud player. Jay Feely adds the extra point. The interception on the first pass by Romo. Shockey, the 13-yard score. Cowboys down a dozen.
So I thought he was when I first heard his name. I said, I didn't know he played football. I thought he just made ribs.
A bunch of ribs.
Yeah.
Tony Romo.
Yes. Well.
A-O.
They're all vowels.
Huh? Yeah.
All vowels.
3rd and 2. Romo. Witten was waiting. They want the flag on Will Dent. Not coming. 4th down. 4th down from the 32. Decision here. 50-yard field goal. We'll go for it.
The makes the play. Will Demps comes in. It looked close to simultaneous. It could have gone either way. The officials decided it was clean. I like the call by Bill Parcells. I mean, he understands what's at stake. His young quarterback threw an interception. Now you give him a chance to make a play.
And also, this is in Bill's profile. He goes for it on fourth down as much as anyone. Bill Belichick, another guy who learned at the foot of Parcells here in the NFL, does the same thing. 4th and 2. Romo dropped by Owens. Giants ball. Darrell Owens is sometimes let to get into his body. Not the best hands catcher in the league. Just didn't have the timing down there. Giants ball.
Carlson right there. All country fans.
Big drive continuing pass. We see already this year, T.O. has more drops than he had in the abbreviated 05, missing the last half with suspension, and his very good year in 04. First down run for Tiki Barber. He gets 50 yarders. So speaking of great running backs in this rivalry, we are joined live from Los Angeles by Emmitt Smith.
Turnovers and inconsistency in the run game. I think that they're just trying to find something positive to happen for that offensive unit.
Incomplete pass.
It worked out well.
And still going on the show. Third down. Pressure coming. Picked up for the moment. Manning's throw is a good first down grab by Tim Carter, the Giants' third receiver, out to the 48-yard line.
I just wondered on Dancing with the Stars, you talked about 7 hours a day.
Just like football, right, Em?
It's constantly dancing, though. I mean, when you talk about football, you may go on the football field for about 2.5 hours. Here at Dancing, we're going to dance for a solid 45 minutes straight to an hour.
He's become the first man to run for over 100 yards on the Dallas defense this season. Eli Manning to throw for Shockey. Jeremy caught it at the 34. Second straight first down picked up via the air. The Giants drive. Emmitt, were you surprised that Tiki said he's going to hang it up after this year?
So, yes, I am a little surprised because he is young. He still has many more years to go, but I understand the decision that he made.
Here's Barber for about a yard here. It'll be second down. Emmitt, people look and say, hey, he's at the top.
That I had enough football out of my system, make sure that I did not want to continue any farther than leaving Dallas. And when I left Dallas, I was really unsure, and in the back of my mind, I wanted to continue to play football. But when I went to Arizona, and I realized how much I really missed the Cowboys organization, missed playing there. A part of me left the game when I left the Cowboys, and I had a wonderful time out in Arizona with the people out there. I mean, they were very, very supportive. The organization treated me well. I couldn't ask for anything any better outside of winning more games for them. But after the Arizona stay, I realized that it was time for me to move on. I realized that the game has passed me by.
Monty Toomer, gain of 12, first down for the Giants. 3 first downs picked up via the air by Manning here as the Giants are at the 23 in a very methodical drive that could be a punch to the gut of this reeling Cowboys team. Brandon Jacobs comes in, and the big back who runs high at times, but has big power, goes toe-to-toe with Roy Williams and delivers the blow, almost a first down there.
Can't let you go without asking about T.O. Were you surprised that the Cowboys took him?
They're certain that he could work with a guy like T.O. And to be honest with you, I think what you're seeing right now is a kind of a different T.O. He's not as in my opinion, I think he's handling the pressure and the media a whole lot better than what he has in the past thus far. And that part I am proud of. Now, whether or not...
Now, that defense of the Cowboys being called on third and short with the big back Jacobs toting it. And Brandon Jacobs gets the first down at the 12-yard line. What a drive here, including 3 big completions by Eli Manning to move it down the field.
By the way, when he's done with Dancing with the Stars, I wouldn't be surprised if Emmitt's on American Idol next time and tries singing.
Terrell Owens has always been a guy who, when the ball isn't coming to him, you see him walk around. He realizes what he has done, dropping that pass, allowing the Giants to put together this drive. He sits quietly. He's not walking up to anyone or walking around or near anyone.
Good, solid drive by the Giants. Barber comes back in, and Tiki runs it to the 7-yard line.
To that point, not only is he sitting quietly, when he came off the field, he stood next to that man, Bill Parcells, as if to say, I know I dropped it. I blew that deal. I want you to see that I'm standing here with you, and I'm ready to go back.
You know, Bill, hey, he brought him in to make plays. Not all touchdowns, you know. When you look at Bill, he knows what happened.
That shot said a lot, Jack, didn't it? So the Giants as a team and Barber as an individual have run for over 100 yards. Hasn't happened to the Cowboys defense this year. Tiki looking for the end zone. Is stopped shy of it. We'll have third down coming up. I say that because Barber has not scored a rushing touchdown this year, even though he leads the NFL in rushing.
But his brother Rondé has 2 from yesterday. So he's going to have to go a little bit to catch his little brother. 102 yards for Tiki so far. The credit, some of what he has accomplished, has to go to the improvements in the offensive line. Those 5 guys up front have done an excellent job of knocking the Cowboy defensive line and linebackers off the ball.
Play 13 in the drive. Brandon Jacobs comes in for Barber. 3 for the first down, 5 for the touchdown. Manning harassed, scrambles for it. He'll be close to the first down and might have it. Eli and Peyton not going to pass the baton from one guy to the next in a relay, but both have run effectively at times, and Eli especially here.
Does a good job of getting away from Greg Ellis. I don't know. It depends on where they mark him. It looked like he might have gone down just a hair short.
By the way, though, if the Mannings had a 4x100 relay, they probably would both be in it. Probably.
They're probably a hair short. Now, Coughlin's got a decision to make. Do you go for it? I think you go for it.
You do. You don't take the field goal.
No, you go for it. You have Brandon Jacobs.
A field goal makes it a 15-point game as opposed to a 12-point game.
They can't stop. Cowboys can't stop. I like the decision.
And you talked about the presence, Joe, of Brandon Jacobs, and there's the stats to back it up.
Yeah, Brandon carried about 9 guys with him 4 plays ago.
It's big on big. What happens in situations like this is coaches aren't quite sure what they want to do quite often. There's a lot of banter, a lot of conversation, but it looks like the Giants have at least an idea of the direction they want to go in.
Jacobs keeps going to the end zone. Giants touchdown. Beautiful drive.
Kid's a horse. Best way to describe it. More football teams around the league need someone like a Brandon Jacobs, someone who can convert short yardage plays into first downs for you or touchdown. He is hit and stopped.
Well, here's what we've seen. Parcells had faith in his squad to go on 4th down. It was a good pass to Terrell Owens. Owens dropped the ball, end of the drive. Giants come right down the field, have faith in their guy, their big guy on 4th down. Boom, into the end zone. That could be the game, could it not?
Could well be. Romo's going to have to put the ball in the air a lot, starting with this series.
14 plays, half the quarter, 7 minutes, 40 seconds. Jacobs, the punctuation. The Giants lead by 19. If you score, go for 2, making it an 11-point game. Or do you just take the points, make it 12, thinking you have a lot of time left? Giants had a long time-consuming possession last time around. First you have to score, and Romo does with Terrell Owens. Touchdown Dallas.
Boy, did R.W. McQuarters make a huge mistake. He was up on Terrell Owens pressing him. Romo audibleized, and he backed off halfway into the end zone. T.O. runs down, stops 2 yards in, and fires the ball out. He's on him, now he backs up. Now he's in the end zone. I mean, heck, it just doesn't get that much easier.
Good thing he didn't drop that one.
No, that's true. He almost
dropped
did,
the
though.
4th down pass.
That one almost got away from him.
They go for 2 here.
Yeah, to make it an 11-point game,
Sure,
so a touchdown at 2 and a field goal would do it. You have Romo's mobility at your disposal here, but they spread it out with essentially 5 receivers. And a timeout take from Tony Romo. Tio can't be unhappy with this quarterback. So here they go for 2. A play that worked just over half the time in the league last year. It's even better, 56% league-wide this year. Joe tipped you off the quarterback draw out of 5 wide. There it is. Romo gets there.
Good call, Joe.
When Bill Parcells talked about doing different things with Tony Romo.
Parcells, and he can coexist and make this work, and Parcells still isn't quite sure.
From the 29, first down, Tiki Barber. Keeps the run alive, pulled down by Roy Williams again from right around the neck area. Only a gain of a couple of yards. Thrown by Drew Bledsoe. 2nd and 8. Eli's throw is incomplete. Lots of contact with Plexico Burris and Anthony Henry covering. Brady James backed out. Manning plus come on to sack. That's a Marcus Ware. 4th down. Thank you, Michelle. Not just the president and the owner, but the general manager as well of the Cowboys. 3rd and 13. From under center, Romo throws complete right at the line. It looks like Witten will have it 1st down at the 31-yard line.
Inside aspect of the field.
Witten 3 catches, 51 yards. 1st down, sliding in the pocket, and he's brought down for the sack. William Joseph taken to the ground after his jump shot. That old jump shot thing comes off a rap video, and the Giants were warned by the league you can't do it all in unison. It would be a team celebration. So individuals who get the knockdown have been going through that. 6 sacks for the Giants tonight.
I haven't seen that particular rap video.
Tony, I just heard about it.
Romo 10 for 16, Bledsoe 7 for 12. And a touchdown for Tony Romo.
In the 34, pressure picked up. He tried to get the screen to Julius Jones. It was intercepted by Fred Robbins. Matthias Kiwanuka, the 1st-round pick, put the pressure on, and Fred Robbins comes up with another interception this year. Everything was rolling, and Robbins shuts him down.
See if the Giants can make adjustments here.
Right, Fred Robbins, he's become the defensive pass game weapon. 2nd interception for the 6'4", 317-pound defensive tackle. He had one against Seattle when the Giants tried to come back from a big deficit. Look at those numbers, how the Giant defense has changed the tone of the game tonight. Eli Manning hands to Tiki Barber, who's over 100 yards tonight, and gets about 4 on 1st down. What happened on that interception, Joe?
What happens is Antonio Pierce just locks up on Julius Jones. It's a screen. Tony Romo goes back, sets, doesn't give ground. He double clutches. As soon as you double clutch, with all those blue shirts around, it doesn't matter. He had pressure, but the thing was, is on a screen, you're basically going to have pressure. I still don't understand why he was operating under center. If he's that athletic and you want to move him, put him back in the shotgun.
Giants just going to try to run some clock here as we get to 8:15 remaining. Eli will go to the air and just go to Barber. So effective in this mode. Tiki takes it to the 35. It's a 1st down. Gain of 8. Here's Matt Weiner with a Sports Center. 30-30 up the game, but the entire Week 7 in the National Football League. Giants could be atop the NFC East in another half of a quarter. Barber keeps it going to the 32-yard line.
You see the Giants on offense now. I just want to, at the end of the Seattle game, Jeremy Shockey said, we were out-coached. Write that down. This led to a big meeting, what Tom Coughlin called a heart-to-heart, and they had a bye week. In that bye week, everybody says they simplified things. Look at the defense since then. They gave up 17 points in the next 2 games. They've given up 15 tonight. They've got 16 sacks in 3 games. Whatever happened in that bye week changed the course of the Giants' season.
A little heart-to-heart from Coughlin and crew helped that out for sure. Manning throws complete for the first down to Amani Toomer at the 24-yard line.
What they basically did was get to know one another a little bit better, and you might say simplify, because when you look at the Giant defense, Sam Madison was brought in. He was new at corner.
No foul
Will
for
Demps
illegal
at safety.
contact as the quarterback was out of the pocket.
Will Demps at safety. LeVar Arrington's brought in. R.W. McQuarters. Different elements had to learn to play together. And what basically Tim Lewis did, their defensive coordinator, was stop trying to make things so complicated. Let the athletes go play.
But there was another thing, too, that Strahan talked about. When Coughlin had this heart-to-heart, Michael Strahan said it made us think he cared about us as people. Prior to that, many of the Giants thought he was just sort of a dictator. Now he reached them on a human level. Look at the response in 3 games.
Tom's pattern has long been known as a disciplinarian, but it's had great results all the way back to his expansion days with Jacksonville. Jacobs to carry for a couple of yards on first down.
The other thing that Michael said, Tony, was when Tom walked in the room in that meeting, he didn't carry notes.
Right.
He came in and actually talked to the guys without some premeditated, prepared text.
Right.
And that humanized them.
Well, it's stunned
in their mind. In their mind.
Because not only had Shockey said we were out-coached once, Tiki Barber after the playoff game last year said the same thing. So there was an uneasy peace between the Giants and their coach.
And I think the way their quarterback has played has made a difference, too. Eli Manning's done an outstanding job of improving his ability to get the ball to receivers.
From the 23, Jacobs protects the ball, gets to the outside, to the 15-yard line, and a first down. I'm sorry, just a yard shy of the first down, Joe.
Mike, Terrence Newman took the better part of valor and jumped in the air because he was staring right at 27. And it was, and he was going to go through him. Brandon Jacobs was not going to try and avoid Terrence Newman. He just got out of the way.
800 pounds of running back coming at him.
Sure looks like it.
Come on.
Jacobs on 3rd and 1. And they'll probably measure this. You know, guys, for a second here on Tom Coughlin. You talk about everything that he does. I thought Coughlin had a very interesting thing to say about the way he acts, the way he responds to the team and interacts with them. In my mind, what would Mr. Mara want for the franchise? That drives this franchise still today, even though Wellington has passed away, and now John, his son, is the president and CEO.
He talks about restoring the pride of the franchise and winning another championship, that was his sole goal.
Interestingly enough as well, you hear Bill Parcells, who was the coach in the Giant organization, talk the same way about Wellington Mara.
Loved him. Loved him and said he gave me my opportunity to become a head coach in the league.
So the Giants a half yard shy on the fourth down in less than a yard. So now go to Jay Feely to try to extend it back to a 14-point lead. And here, of course, you take the option of touchdown, 2-point conversion, and field goal out of the equation. And Dallas would need to score 2 touchdowns really quick to force overtime. Good from 31. Good from 32 is Feely. And the Giants lead by 14 with less than 4 minutes to go. Their offense has taken it down the field when it's mattered, forcing Bill Parcells to have more frustrated faces tonight.
Who isn't necessarily you.
And that makes the game over. That is the type of interception that I know you saw Drew Bledsoe throw before. And you have the great key. That's what happened in Philadelphia with Lito Shepherd, the 102-yard interception.
This ball is just thrown behind Creighton. It's just thrown behind him. Again, part of it is the fact that Romo has not had the opportunity to work with these receivers.
When you see that shot of Bledsoe on the sideline, you've been in this circumstance. What is he thinking right now?
If I was him, I probably could have done better than that guy.
Extra point added by Jay Feely. Kevin Dockery's 96-yard interception return for touchdown. This is the first game that Dockery, a rookie free agent cornerback out of Ole Miss, has played on defense. He's only seen special teams action. 4th NFL game, 1st NFL touchdown. Dallas's lowlights. LeVar Arrington, who later injured his Achilles, out for the season with a sack and a safety there. Then Bledsoe picked right before he goes to the bench. Romo starts the 3rd quarter on the deflection. He's intercepted by Antonio Pierce. 4th down. Owens in open space. Couldn't catch it. Couldn't keep the drive alive. Then on a would-be screen pass trying to drive. The interception by Robbins. And a moment ago, the Dockery pick that goes 96 yards and puts the Giants up 36-15.
Joe, I asked.
Yep, we'll see the Giants in Jacksonville in November. As Tom Coughlin returns back to the place where he made a huge coaching mark, taking the Jaguars. And Romo has thrown his 3rd NFL touchdown, his 2nd tonight, and it covers 53 yards.
The Giants, corners up, safeties back. The middle linebacker cannot get back anywhere near where he has to make a play. And once you have that happen, Chase Blackburn can't get back to run with Patrick Creighton. You wind up with 6.
Point game here. Vanderjack comes on to add the extra point with 2:03 to go. It's 36-22. Let's get out of Susie on the Giants side.
And there's a lot of people in the culture who look at this and wonder, how do you walk away from this job at the peak of your career?
T.O. out there for the onside kick, among others on the Dallas Hands team, and the Giants are able to fall on it at the 41-yard line. It was James Butler coming up with the recovery. 2:03 to go.
Of course.
Just want to make sure that
Bottom of few and, you know, mosey on after that. No, it was, that 83 season for us was a magical year. I mean, we were plus 42 in the giveaway takeaway ratio and the highest scoring team in the history of football at that time.
So the Giants, as you see, the leaders will have Tiki Barber as their leading rusher tonight for the 70th consecutive Giants game.
And that's 70 consecutive. You have to play in all of them. You can't take a game off like you can with the receiving records. And that means so many things are left to chance. He could get hurt. He never gets hurt. Somebody else could come around and have a 90-yard run. It doesn't happen. 70 straight, an NFL record, leading his team in rushing.
Giants in 1st place, undefeated on the first lap through the league. Coughlin 5-2 against Parcells. Dallas, a ton of questions. It's an odd score, 36-22. 2nd game this weekend that ended 36-22. That was the score of the Colts' victory over the Redskins yesterday. 14-point Giant victory here in Dallas. Full reaction recap. You want to hear what Parcells has to say about the quarterback future, the Giants about their win? You'll hear it on SportsCenter coming up next. NFL Primetime after that. With Joe Theismann, Tony Kornheiser, Susie Calver, Michelle Tafoya, all the women and men on our Monday night team. Mike Tirico saying good night from Dallas. See you next week for the Patriots and the Vikings from Minnesota. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night from Texas.
Had 100 yards plus.
Okay. 114 yards on 27 carries for Tiki Barber. This was a good run defense you were working against. How hard-earned were those yards?
They were very hard-earned, but like last week when we played Atlanta, #1 run defense at that time, we knew that if we stuck to it, we stuck with our principles, didn't make the mistakes, that we could move the ball on the ground against these guys, and it was paramount for us to do it. Brandon Jacobs is a tough runner. He came in and spelled us, got the touchdown here late in the 2nd half, and it really propelled us.
You have said you think this team has the talent to go to a Super Bowl. What was it like in the huddle tonight as you guys continued to move the ball against this team?
It was very calm, very collected, and that's a testament to our leader in Eli, who keeps us under control no matter what the circumstances are. And we did it today. As long as we don't make mistakes, we have enough of talent on this team to move forward throughout this season, make some big plays, and get us close to the playoffs, which is our ultimate goal, and getting to the Super Bowl.
And now that you have said publicly and told the world that, quote, without a doubt, you are retiring at the end of this season, what is it like for you to take the field and approach this game of football?
Well, it's the same as it's always been. I have a great appreciation for this game, a great respect for this game. But my focus right now, as it has been all season, is to get this team to the Super Bowl. And so week after week, we stay strong, we do the little things, and hopefully get better week in and week out so that our dream and our goal can come true.
Congratulations on the win, Tiki.
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it.
Now, you said that you thought the Giants were more pretenders than contenders. Did they show you something tonight to make you change your mind?
Not really. I mean, they played a good game. Defensively, they came at Dallas. This is what you should do. Offensively, they attacked them deep, which is also what you should do. I worry about Eli Manning's consistency. I worry that their offensive line may not be able to overpower teams. And defensively, their secondary isn't that strong. They could have been worked on a lot more. Dallas had chances to win this game. I mean, full credit to the Giants because they held their composure. They played really well. They took advantage of what Tony Romo gave them. They pressured him. But, you know, they didn't beat a great team here in Dallas. And that's the thing with these NFC East teams. None of them seems to be a fully rounded great team. They're going to really beat on each other, which is tough for them to get into the playoffs. But it doesn't guarantee them a run through the playoffs.